most effective strength and conditioning exercises for boxing.
What are your opinions on purely doing old school training? Jogging, sprinting, jump rope, shadow boxing, heavy bag sparring, and calisthenics. I'm curious if it's like the Pareto's principle, where you get 80% of the benefits from old school training and modern training just adds the rest 20%. So I often get asked the question about old school training methods. Very much when I was first starting boxing science, always had the question of, why didn't the old school boxers do strength conditioning? Why were they still so successful without all these training methods? Probably because nobody was doing them training methods back then. Even playing field, everybody was kind of using the old school training methods then. But then also thinking about if they were boxing today, they would probably take part in some sort of strength conditioning. Got old school fighters such as Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson, Mike Tyson doing old school training methods. They always look to try and optimize their physical performance to match their technical performance. That's why they did intense circuits and ab workouts and going out doing road running, because they wanted to be as fit and as strong and as explosive as possible. If they were still boxing today, they probably would do strength conditioning. For example, Mike Tyson, I know it's not a fantastic example because how the fight went about with Jake Paul, but he had to prepare for a fight. He prepared very differently for that fight than he did when he was in his prime. He used the new school methods to try and get his body in the best possible shape for that fight. That's an example of an old school fighter implementing new methods. Even when you think about like Floyd Mayweather was fit and strong, always like in shape and condition, always conditioned over the 12 rounds. A lot of that was probably down to his fighting style, being able to control his opponent and to be able to box at the intensity that he always wanted to. He said that he didn't like strength conditioning for years, but he did some form of strength conditioning all the time, like videos of him doing the lat pull down and ab wheel rollouts. And these are all exercises that are used in strength conditioning, but just done in a more structured way. And he even started like using strength conditioning towards the back end of his career. So he was very much in the old school phase as the new school of training started coming in. You see like all the top fighters now doing strength conditioning. You look at the top 10 pound for pound fighters now, they all do some form of strength conditioning. You've got Usyk, Inoue, Beterbiev, Bivol. They all post so much about their strength conditioning, which is fantastic for the whole industry, because now all the younger fighters are looking at it and thinking, right, that's the way that I need to train to optimize my physical performance to then improve my boxing performance. I have gone a little bit leeway with this answer now, but I'm going to get to it. Like, what part of old school training still needs to be part of the program? Well, you got your fundamentals of boxing, pads, bags, shadow boxing, sparring, skipping ropes. All these should be still part of your boxing training. It's the physical side that's probably improved the most in terms of like the use of sports science, strength conditioning, high intensity conditioning as well. But boxing more or less kind of stays the same. There's obviously improvements in technology now in terms of how you can track heart rates during boxing. Also, there's data analysis. So we've got Jabber.ai that I'm going to be really interested to see how they progress in terms of in not only analysing the fights, but how that's going to be now being used in training, how they can analyse performance there. But just using video analysis is really good, where you can video a spar and straight away you can highlight where an athlete needs to be working on. I'm not somebody that will come in and just go, right, it's all about the new school training methods. The old school training methods obviously are fundamental to helping a boxer improve their boxing performance. It's the new school training methods such as strength conditioning, high intensity conditioning, nutrition, recovery that can help improve their physical performance, which can then help them become better fighters, because there's not going to be any physical or mental blocks in terms of what their boxing potential can be.